Now we're going to check back over with Cedric Haynes. He has our full forecast for the week, and Cedric, it's pretty nice out there. You picked a good week to come back.
You know, I'm glad to take full credit for all the nice weather out there across the area. We'll blame David Carnes for the bad weather. We'll talk to him when he gets back here. But I'll tell you what, folks, we've got some cooler air that's filtering on into the area. Now, don't be fooled. This is just kind of a little taste, an early taste of fall-like weather out there across the area, as temperatures are a few degrees cooler than where they were 24 hours ago at this time. But that's not the only story. It's not just about the temperature. It's more so about the humidity levels that have really dropped off quite a bit today, especially across the north. Our friends in Dayton at 81 degrees currently, 80 in Athens, 74. Good afternoon to you in Altamont. And again, as you head up towards the north, the humidity is very low. The temperatures are very comfortable. Down south across northwest Georgia, temperatures, look at that, only in the upper 70s from Lafayette over towards Dalton and Calhoun, 76 in Blue Ridge, 80 degrees in Murphy, and 80 in Fort Payne, 82 in Scottsboro. Now, as we go throughout the next few hours, oh yeah, the weather, not bad at all. A mixture of some sun, some clouds, but as you can see, temperatures slowly falling from the 80s down into the 70s, and if you're in the 70s, you'll likely hold into the 70s as we go throughout this afternoon, again, with a few peaks of sunshine in with some of those scattered clouds out there as well. Let's talk about what's going on here with our weather pattern here, because I'll tell you, we're enjoying some of these nice changes, but the one problem we have are these pesky clouds. And what's happening is we've got kind of like an invisible boundary that's kind of stalled out across the area that's separating the very dry air to the north from the very humid and muggy air mass down to the south. And so you get these clouds that kind of develop and they just kind of hang around. Now, every now and then we get just enough moisture to kind of squeeze out a little moisture. So far, we're not seeing that, but there's a chance, can't rule out an isolated sprinkle or an isolated shower, primarily south of the Tennessee border as we go throughout this evening, but I think most of us will remain dry. Now, remember, I mentioned that boundary. You can really see that on this dew point map. Dew points, of course, measure how much moisture is in the air. The yellow color, that's the very dry air. We're basically on the border from the very dry air to the very humid air just to our south, and that humid air is eventually going to start to move back to the north and west as we go into the next 24 hours as our winds switch from out of the north to out of the south and east. So get ready for more humid air to return. You see this little dip in the humidity for us this afternoon. As we go into Friday and the weekend, more humidity returns, and that's also going to be featuring a little better chance of some rainfall. So as we go into again this afternoon, maybe an isolated sprinkle or a shower, primarily in the higher elevations. I think as we go into your Friday, a very similar story, a mix of sun and clouds, maybe a sprinkle. Most of us stay dry. But here comes our next weather maker coming in from the north and west as we get towards the weekend. I think a chance of a few scattered showers and rumbles of thunder late Saturday and especially heading into early Sunday morning. Now, this is not going to be a washout by any means, but there will be a chance of some rain late Saturday into Sunday, but the rain chance only at about 30%. In fact, you can see here with our rainfall totals, we're not talking a lot of heavy rainfall, probably a quarter of an inch or less at best across most parts of the area. A quick check on the tropics. Of course, we're in the middle of tropical season right now, and we want you to be aware that we're going to be watching Lee as it climbs up the east coast. I'll have much more on how Lee may impact parts of the United States here coming up in just a moment. But your Storm Alert 7-day forecast, again, a chance of rain this weekend, but don't let that fool you. Don't cancel those outdoor plans. We're talking late Saturday into Sunday, and right now, only about a 30% chance, ladies.